Anyone now, welcome back to another segment of Medical Minute. Today, nearly 7 million Americans live with Alzheimer's disease. That number is expected to double by the year 2060. But new technology might be able to detect symptoms sooner. Dr. Deepak Nair, the Vice President of OSF HealthCare's Neuroscience Service Line, joins us now with more. Good morning, Dr. Nair.
Good morning.
So, Doctor, could you just tell us about, AI and how that could possibly help detect symptoms sooner?
Certainly. There's a couple of interesting recent clinical trials using AI word detection analysis to predict the progression from mild cognitive impairment towards Alzheimer's. Essentially, these tools are looking for, in our language function, how many words do we produce per minute, how accurate is our word selection, how delayed is our word finding, and putting that all together in the black box of AI to predict that progression.
Okay, so how does your team, help people with these early on symptoms of Alzheimer's?
So most of our work in neuroscience is really early detection. Several programs, including ours, we're implementing screening tools when people notice that they might be increasingly forgetful or if there's changes in their behavior pattern. And then we support that with more in-depth testing. So these AI tools are exciting because it might shorten the pathway towards a formal diagnosis. Today, a formal evaluation for cognitive impairment may take hours of testing and interpretation.
Okay, so what do loved ones need to know when they see their loved ones with these early on symptoms, or what do they need to do?
Sure. In our diagnostic jargon, the term dementia has somewhat fallen out of favor because it's really representing the clinical syndrome rather than the actual diagnosis. So what we advise people to look for are changes in the behavior patterns. If you're, for a sudden you're having memory impairment that's stopping you from behaving as you normally would, doing the activities that you would normally enjoy, that's a red flag, and that's when we should seek attention.
Okay. And if anyone at home has questions on or would like to be seen, how can they contact your team to kind of help assist?
So what we actually recommend is, as a first step, is reaching out to your primary care physician or care team so that they can initiate a medical evaluation. One of the first things we want to do is rule out potentially treatable and reversible causes of dementias. And there are many medical conditions that can impair cognitive function. Once we know that those have been correctly ruled out, then we can proceed with more in-depth neuroscience testing, and then that whole referral and testing process can begin.
Okay, so is there anything else that you would like to add about Alzheimer's disease and what people should know that they may not know?
Yeah, so there's a lot of excitement in the field right now. A bevy of new drugs have been released into the market, and we're still waiting to see sort of what are the true clinical impacts, but there are a number of other drugs in the development pipeline that hold some promise for potentially slowing down the progression of the disease.
Okay, and one more question. Could you just talk a little bit more about the AI process with this?
Yes, absolutely. So the language detection is where the current excitement is. The idea is you can do several digital word games almost.
Nice.
And then your performance on that, how quickly do you select the right word? Did you understand the context of what you're saying, and how quickly can you produce speech and language can be used to predict how quickly might you progress towards further disease.
Okay. Thank you for that information, Doctor. And we'll share this entire interview on our website at 25newsnow.com. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.